Hi, you're watching us on NewsX YouTube. My name is Devika Chopra. With me is Rishabh Gulati, and we will now be shedding some light on Pakistan, which is on an assassination spree. Rishabh, 2 assassinations have taken place. If you can first share those details with us.
It's very clear that the Inter-Services Intelligence, the ISI, has decided to borrow from the book of the Mossad and the CIA, and they've decided that we will use the cover of coronavirus and the global pandemic to simply take out our critics all over the world. Okay. Now, a couple of days ago, Sajid Hussain was a very important Baloch activist, a journalist who for several years had been writing and exposing Pakistan's atrocities in Balochistan. He has been killed in Sweden. His body was found on a river bank in Uppsala, okay, 2 months after he disappeared. This happened a few days ago. He was last seen boarding a train from Stockholm, the capital of Sweden, to Uppsala. He never deboarded. So somewhere during the train journey, he was kidnapped and subsequently killed, and his body had been dumped. And the reason this guy was important was that he was the nephew of Mohammad Baloch, the Balochi leader who himself was killed in 2011. And this man then had to flee the country in 2020. He fled from Pakistan in 2012. In 2017, he applied for asylum, Devika, in Sweden. So this was the first assassination that has happened. Then Arif Wazir, he was the leader of the Pashtun Tahaffuz movement. He's also been killed right outside his home in Wana in South Waziristan. So, 2 Pashtuns, 1 Pashtun leader, 1 Balochi leader, all killed within a few days of each other. 1 assassination in Sweden, 1 assassination in South Waziristan. Okay. Then there is the case, Devika, of Ahmed Waqas Goraya. Okay, this was that Pakistani blogger. He was threatened. He's living in exile in Rotterdam. He has now filed a case saying that he was accosted, attacked, beaten and threatened by ISI operatives in Rotterdam. Okay, that's again in Holland. Then a very famous case that happened a few months ago, Gulalai Ismail, the Pakistani human rights activist who fled from her home and arrived in the US in 2019 because she was also being hounded and feared for her life back in Pakistan. Now the reason all of this is important is because a lot of these activists, whether they be Sindhi, whether they be Balochi, are living in exile across the world. And if the Pakistani ISI has now decided that they are going to go and assassinate all of them one by one, think about Brahmadug Bukti, right? Who is currently in exile in Switzerland. Now, he's been applying for asylum in India for a long period of time. We need to give him Indian citizenship and get him here, because what do you know? What happens if Pakistan's ISI now goes and tries to assassinate him in Switzerland? It'll become a major problem. And the reason Brahmadug Bukti is very important is because it's his grandfather, Akbar Bukti, the man who was fighting for Baloch autonomy with his 15-point principle. Akbar Bukti was killed, assassinated again in 2006. That's the same time that Brahmadug, his grandson, fled and went into exile in Switzerland. So the reality is that the Pakistanis are now trying to use the cover of coronavirus while the world is busy to just kill off all these people. Okay. We have to be acutely aware, because for the past year and a half, we have been very aggressively profiling the Sindhis, the Balochis, who want to separate from Pakistan, and the human rights abuses, the genocide that's been happening in international forums. So the first time you saw UNHCR and other global bodies seeking representations, presentations, submissions by a lot of these people in areas where Pakistan is committing genocide. And this has been going on, Devika, since 1947. The Balochis never wanted to be a part of Pakistan. Okay. It was Clement Attlee's team that forced them to join up with Pakistan, and this is dating back to June in 1947. So the logic of this is very simple. As Balochistan stands today, it was a chief commissionerate back during the times of the British Raj. Okay, all of these guys said that the 3 princely states, which was Kalat, okay, which had a princely state attached to it, which was called Makran, Las Belal, and Kharan. Okay, all of these guys were led by the Khan of Kalat, Ahmad Yar Khan. Okay, this guy Ahmad Yar Khan declared independence in 1947. He did not want to join Pakistan. Okay, but he was forced to join Pakistan by Attlee and his team later on. Okay, the decision of his to join Pakistan eventually ended up in his brother Abdul Karim revolting against his brother's decision. Okay, and this conflict went on till 1955. A civil war went on because of the brother not wanting to join Pakistan. Then, immediately after that, in 58, Nawab Nauroz Khan took up arms against the Pakistani state. This uprising went on. Then again, in the 60s, a Baloch separatist movement, okay, which was being led by Sher Muhammad Bijrani Mari, went on from 63 to 69. They led a guerrilla war against Pakistan. Then the Baloch insurgency officially began in 1973, went on again for 4 years. Okay, this was after President Bhutto in 1973 decided to dismiss the Baloch government. This is Bhutto, daddy of Benazir, decided to submit the Baloch government, which was being led by the Balochistan People's Liberation Front. This insurgency went on for 4 years, and currently there's an insurgency going on in Balochistan. So throughout Pakistan's history, 47 to present day, the Balochis have been demanding independence. The Pakistanis don't talk about the Balochis demanding independence, they only want to talk about Jammu and Kashmir. So at the time when India is highlighting this Baloch case very, very aggressively abroad, what is Pakistan doing? Killing off the Baloch leaders, Baloch separatists, Baloch human rights activists. You kill them off, they are not there to make a representation. What is urgently obvious is that India now very aggressively take up these assassinations that the ISI is carrying out both within Pakistan and without Pakistan, take them up with the respective European governments, take them up at the UNSC, take them up with the British government and with the US government, and slap it across the face of the Chinese government also, because this is assassinations that are being. Imagine if the GRU of the Russians were carrying out assassinations on foreign soil, would there not be global outrage? Okay, or all the assassinations the KGB did, Mossad did, global outrage. Okay, so where is the global outrage when the ISI is doing it? Where are the global investigations when the ISI is doing it? The ISI has to be hauled over hot coals, not only to be exposed for what it is doing, but to protect the others. It's only if you put them under pressure, know that their game is up, that the others, and there are 150 Baloch activists, well-known, high-profile Baloch activists currently, who are in exile in different parts of Europe, including Brahmadukh Bukti. His life has to be preserved. Either we bring him to India and give him security, or we ensure that his security is being provided to him in Switzerland, both with the work of the Swiss government and with the European agencies working in concert to make sure no ISI guy can simply go and kill him, and therefore try to crush the Baloch movement, which, as I mentioned, has been going on since 1947. It's an urgent priority. We need to very, very rapidly wake up and take this up with foreign governments, and there should be national outrage here in India to begin with at how the ISI is going and knocking off Baloch activists in foreign countries. Okay, either that should give us a license to knock off Hafiz Saeed, known terrorists. There's no reason the RNW should not simply go and assassinate it. If that's how the game has to be played, then we should be doing the same thing. Okay, your Hafiz Saeeds of the world need to go. Your JUD leaders, your LET leaders, your Huji leaders, all need to be assassinated. Okay, or if that's not the game we are playing, then the ISI needs to be hauled over hot coals and exposed before the global community for what it is currently doing. There have been many suspicions in the past, whether the CIA did it or the ISI did it. Mysteriously, Indian nuclear scientists had started dying in these accidents, one after the other. As soon as it became exposed, okay, the death stopped. Okay, and the Sunday Guardian, one of our sister papers, led the way in exposing these mysterious accidents that were happening, mysterious disappearances that were happening. Somebody was trying to eliminate India's nuclear system or damage it by simply killing the scientists who were running it. Okay, now they're trying to simply assassinate all the Baloch leaders. We have to be deeply aware and call it out, David.
Well, absolutely, Rishabh. That was yet another Pakistan, sinister plot by Pakistan that NewsX is exposed for you. Thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, do share it.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.